So when you build a business, it's like giving birth to a kid. You have to plan a 3 years, a 5 years, and a 10 years vision.
What was your first ever business venture?
If I get the entire support system under one wing and help the entrepreneur to expand only from a business development standpoint, then what will be that?
How did this concept come to life on my firm? So we are back again with another podcast because our last podcast, everybody loved it. And today I am with the man, with the vision behind the company Plan My Fam, Mr. Peter Caroz. How are you, Peter?
I'm super, Vaza. How are you?
Amazing, perfect.
I really love the work that you're doing right now for Plan My Firm and spearheading the marketing department, and have created so much of attraction towards the brand. I see a lot of budding entrepreneurs messaging me, messaging the Plan My Firm handle, and they would like to do something. I love the energy that you're creating behind the brand, and the brand itself is an energy hub.
Agreed.
So
Agreed.
I think I really love the work that you're doing, and congrats to the work that.
Nonetheless, you are my powerhouse. The ideas that you give me, it's very unique, and today I finally managed to get a bit of your time to share the mindset, the creativity behind this organization. So let's starting up. I'm going to start with a very simple question: who is Peter Caroz? Is he a myth, a vision, idea? What is he?
Of course, he could be a myth for people living in the fantasy world. But if you're in the real world, then he's a real guy. Someone who embodies vision and innovation in the corporate world. I love building organizations, nurturing them, and scaling them to a different level. So, of course, this is what I basically made myself for. I've always built organizations and help them to revolve around the corporate world and build an entrepreneurship journey for the entrepreneurs.
Right. So, seamlessly, you say that for many it's a myth, for you are a myth. But how would you, break it down in a myth manner?
It's not a myth manner. Again, I'm saying that it could be a myth for people. Again, I'm saying who's fantasizing entrepreneurship.
Right.
But if they really want to perform in the journey of entrepreneurship,
Yeah.
then they will have to come and join our hands. We will make sure that we will handhold them.
Right.
And that's where the myth breaks into reality.
Exactly.
And that's where the real world journey starts for them.
That's where the vision comes into the reality.
That's where the vision actually is basically engraved in the books.
Agreed.
Or till that time, it's only a myth.
Right. So moving on forward, the next question would be, as you're already running a very large corporation, the next question for me would be, what was your first ever business venture?
Of course, my first business venture was when I was like almost 18, 19, when I used to go to maybe a study school, and in my off holiday times of 3 months, me and my friends used to figure out some venture during the vacation period. And that's when I started one small fruit mango business. And
Whoa.
Yeah, and then it was just for a seasonal business.
Did I hear that right? A mango business?
Yeah, mango business.
Whoa.
Basically. A seasonal mango business, which basically just to cover the season.
Right.
And it was during my vacations, the annual vacations.
When you were a student?
Months. Yeah, when I was a student.
Right.
And that's when I basically started my journey. Me and my friends said, okay, the hawker mango business looks very unorganized. Why don't we organize it for the malls? And then that's where myself and my partner both capitalized the company with 10,000 rupees, made a 20,000 rupees, went to one of a trader who is basically an agriculturist. He gave us a bulk of almost 50,000 rupees of value of good, and we sold that for 1 lakh. That's where the journey started.
20K to 1 lakh rupees.
Yeah. And technically, the whole season I closed about maybe 2 lakhs.
Wow.
So from 20, so this was the journey.
I cannot.
And it's just the business started for 3 months and it ended in that 3 months period.
When you said selling mangoes, it just hit me like a truck.
You could do any business.
Yeah.
If entrepreneurship, if you're actually inborn as an entrepreneur while you're working, and then you move on to the journey of entrepreneurship, you will figure out that, boss, there are some hidden mindset qualities that you already have. That is basically, you go all out there to express your mind.
So you just got to take a leap of faith.
You
That's
have to
it.
take the leap of faith on your mindset. But of course, pure luck will not work.
Yeah.
You will need to acquire the skill set that are required to live in this universe, in this corporate world.
Yeah. So that seemingly made Plan My Firm come into existence. That
No, I mean,
mindset.
Plan My Firm was a long journey actually.
Yeah.
Plan My Firm before, I mean, I started my career in UAE about 15 years back. And then technically before I launching Plan My Firm, I worked for another law firm, a legal consultancy, basically where I worked for almost about 8 years as a partner. And Plan My Firm just started about maybe about 6-8 months back.
Right.
And where basically I felt that I used to meet a lot of entrepreneurs on legal matters, but I found that they had problems much more than the legal issues. They never understood how to basically formulate a partnership. They did not know what documents are required in terms of building up an organization, or maybe building up a resource system in an organization. And I felt that the problems were much beyond. And that's when I said that if I get the entire support system under one wing and help the entrepreneur to expand only from a business development standpoint, then what will be that? And that's when we said that fine, entrepreneurs wanted licenses, they wanted compliance issues to handle, they wanted the financial matters to be taken care, they wanted a place of work, and if everything, they wanted even marketing, they wanted tech support, and if everything comes under one wing, and if this could be work as this back-end support system by an organization, and they could only focus on the real journey of an entrepreneurship of building the business by meeting clients and developing and selling their services, then it could be a profitable and scalable business.
Indeed.
It's only when so that the support cost could be very low and yet not absorbing your time.
Right.
Because today in Dubai, time is money.
Agreed.
And how do you use that? Most of your time as a promoter of the business or as an entrepreneur to that business should be spending time in developing clients.
Agreed.
But on the contrary, you're so busy investing so much time in organizing systems for the company,
And finding vendors.
in finding vendors.
Yeah.
And then you're managing employees.
Yeah.
Managing the cost, managing the process.
When will you grow?
Yes.
Agree.
So I'll give you the example of one of my friend. Actually, he came to start up a restaurant in Dubai. He came with a capital of $500,000 and he wanted to start a restaurant. So he met this multiple vendors and then figured out that he had to do this. He was involved so much in doing the process of the license, getting the vendors of the interior works, finding a place to start the restaurant. And in all this journey and getting the civil defense approval and all the approvals that is required to basically functionalize the restaurant. And it all took him about 8 months till the restaurant starts. And once, because he was doing himself, he did not meet any expert. So his job actually was there to prepare the food and sell the food.
Right.
But on the contrary, he was involved in so much of operational work.
Again,
so if he meets a professional partner, he basically can set up this whole process in a matter of 1 month. Right. But on the contrary, because he wanted to do himself alone to save cost, cut corner here, there, he tried to do himself. He lost 8 months and till he really starts taking up his business or selling cooking food, basically it was almost a renewal to the contract. And that's where he decided that, boss, I'm not going to renew the contract because I didn't make money for the whole year. And that's how he closed the restaurant and he left back.
Right.
And you see the experience for him because he did not meet professional people.
Agreed. Okay. And he also
so my advice will be that, that anytime go meet some professional vendors and then start. But you don't waste too much time in learning because the learning curve will cost you a lot of money.
Agreed. It will. But again, you could have done that in India. You could have done that in Manchester, anywhere you wanted. Why Dubai? What does this place have?
I mean, Dubai. Dubai is right now at the melting point.
Yeah.
Where basically, of course, Dubai is as a melting pot right now for the global businesses.
Right.
Because it's the hub which has the best ecosystem around.
Yeah.
Entrepreneurs. So my advice, basically Dubai, if you see Dubai as three aspects of Dubai. One is the ease of doing business in terms of registration of business, the taxation, and the ecosystem around building a business. If you see all these three factors are so favoring the entrepreneur that from day one you could actually start a very tough journey which could be very difficult in other parts of the region. So if you say, coming from back home from India, starting a license in India would be very easy, but the taxation system is so complex.
Agreed. So restricted.
Yeah. So if you, and again, one is filing the tax return. Secondly, even could it be declaring your tax income? The whole process is so cumbersome that you will need every time a professional to be part of your system. And
Right.
all these professionals keep sucking money out of you. So where's the money that you really make?
Agreed. Agreed.
So as a solopreneur, when you want to start up the entrepreneurship journey, I think you would like to keep the cost very low.
Yeah.
And how do you keep that cost very low? By entering or by basically tying up with low cost operation teams.
Agreed.
Or to be a part of a network or an ecosystem that helps you and benefits you.
Simultaneously.
Yes.
On all ends. Agreed. Agreed.
Yeah. If you see the average taxation in the globally is
Yeah.
between 20 to 40%. And look at Dubai, it's 9%, which is still which is still substantially low.
Yeah. Agreed on all ends. On
Yeah.
all ends. It's fairly less to what I'll be giving in Pakistan.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So it means even after being so low, taxation schemes, I mean, these taxation schemes do benefit the entrepreneur.
It's the laws also.
Tell me the countries that basically, I mean, again, when you ask me that why Dubai, look at, they don't even have personal tax. In my country, there's even personal tax.
Yeah.
So it means a salaried employee pays tax
Agreed.
for the income he makes. Not only corporates, but even the personal tax is not there.
Agreed.
So it means everyone who makes 5,000 or 10,000 straight away put 10,000 in his pocket.
Yes,
So
exactly.
these are the benefits which people do not realize, but that's the fact. All this is wealth building.
So, Peter, in your opinion, what are the biggest mistakes that startups make in their first year?
See, Azan, the common mistakes that most entrepreneurs or startups actually make is they try to do everything in one time.
Agreed.
And that's when they fail. So, of course, when an entrepreneur wants to start an entrepreneurship journey or would like to build a business, of course, there are two factors to it. One is the mindset, and second is the skill set. Of course, by starting a company, he has the mindset to go there and start a business and take that risk. But does he have the skill set? When you talk about skill set, again, we are talking about his skill set and the skill set that are required for the business. So he could have some genius skill sets that actually pushed him to start the business. But what about the blind spots? He will need to have those skill sets to mitigate those blind spots.
Agreed.
How do we do that? So if I'm a great sales guy, but don't have finance knowledge, don't have operational knowledge, don't have marketing knowledge, those are other functions of the business that are required. So I will need to know some sort of knowledge in those departments too. Because if I'm captaining this ship, then I would need to know all the knowledge in all the departments. I would have to know at least some knowledge in all the departments so that I can guide my managers, or at least my managers will know what I'm doing.
Agreed.
Or at least I should know what my managers are doing.
Right, right.
So I cannot just walk in saying that, boss, I have no idea about what the finance guy is doing. His job is to do the accountancy and raise money. No, you will need to raise money yourself.
Agreed, agreed. And this is actually what I've heard commonly, that these mistakes are happening because a lot of the entrepreneurs, they have no idea what the team are doing. Just spending money, just like you say, Zan, is not art. It's to how to build wealth and then sustain it. So in your opinion, how would you suggest someone to build wealth and actually sustain it?
Again, of course, building wealth is a separate exercise.
Agreed.
The function of generating revenue is different from holding revenue and multiplying revenue. So technically, the function of generating money is different from holding money and multiplying money. Multiplying money is called wealth creation.
Right.
So many people will basically make money for spending, maybe on lifestyle.
Right.
They would not be able to hold. And even if they hold, they're using this money for some other work.
Right.
They will not able to multiply the money. Till you don't multiply the money will not generate into wealth. So wealth creation is a very different exercise. Here we are only talking about entrepreneurship, of at least having control on the revenue.
Agreed.
Of making money. Then holding and deploying money is different, Art.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, as an entrepreneur, you will need to know how to make money and deploy money. Of
Right.
course, if he wants to do wealth creation, he could do that as multiplying money and on the asset class that are available. Then again, the art of choosing the asset class is a different exercise altogether.
Agreed, agreed. So moving forward, you see Dubai is growing a lot. Right. In your opinion, as an entrepreneur, as the founder of multiple companies, what do you predict for Dubai's landscape, business landscape for the next 10 years?
Again, Dubai will continue to grow because of its innovation and because of its eco-friendly system, or basically you could say a business environment, business friendly systems. So business Dubai is going to continuously grow. There is no doubt in that.
Agreed.
So if you are not in Dubai, either to build business, either to invest money, or either to buy real estate, then you are losing time.
Yeah.
Because Dubai will continue to grow because they are growing on innovation and sustainability. If you
Right.
see both the system, both the facets of development are covered by them.
Agreed. Agreed.
So
Agreed.
that's why it's one of the most attractive places in terms of travel, tourism, to do ease of doing businesses, and to basically explore networking explore opportunities, network
Mm.
with high level individuals.
It sure did attract me, as a
Yeah,
matter of
yeah,
fact, because I grew up in this place, and for a very long time, I've seen this place grow from nothing to everything.
of course.
It's a beautiful place to start working, and if you have a startup in Dubai, come on, you are at the center of the world, diversely
Again,
populated
their currency is
individuals.
pegged with dollars, so there
Agreed.
is no risk of currency depreciating.
Yeah,
Secondly, you look at the other parts of safety
yeah.
standards. I
You're
mean,
secure.
yeah, of course, you could actually, your one of your house member can come at 3 in the morning,
Mm,
and you could still sleep quietly, calmly,
mm.
without even bothering.
Yeah.
So, I mean, not all countries across the globe offer this sort of security. So,
Mm.
and Dubai is always in the first three or four places as
Even
far
for
as,
security in terms of investments as well.
of course,
In any place, Dubai offers you untangible security on all aspects.
because it's a fully developed ecosystem, business ecosystem. So
Agreed.
technically, every business is well organized.
Right.
So there is an organizational structure for money to pool in and to money to deploy to vendors and to recover them. The
Mm.
judiciary is very robust.
Straightforward. Pretty
Yes,
straightforward, yes.
the laws are very transparent for you to do business. The
Agreed.
process of registration of business licenses are so easy. There are multiple licensing authorities in different jurisdictions that offer different pricing and helps you to basically start. Now you could even set up a business in about 6,000 dirham.
Yeah, plainly.
I mean, what more they can offer?
Yeah.
As in, as Sharjah, look at Sharjah SPC,
Yeah.
offering 6,800. What more?
You don't need a
I
lot of
mean,
money in your bank account.
you don't need.
Yeah.
And if you go to Plan My Firm, we offer actually through Tabby
Yes.
and 4 installments, 1,500. You can start a company. What more?
Feels like a
mean,
fever dream. 1,500 dirhams.
You can
Start your own
your own
company. My
company. What
God.
more you need?
A 19-year-old kid sitting in India can do it himself.
Of course.
It's amazing, outright amazing. But the big thing for me, as an entrepreneur sitting with you right now, when you were building Plan My Firm, and you were building Legal House, you were building multiple companies, people love to point fingers. How did you handle with that criticism specifically?
Again, I told you, as criticism will only come if you fail in the promises that, if you fail in delivering the promises that you have made. So for me, it's always like that you should only promise that you can deliver. And again, added to that is, again, wherever you find that you have flaws in delivering what you promised, you need to take feedback from clients, and you have to take the hit on the chin and move ahead.
There's nothing more to it. It's
Nothing. You
that
have to
simple.
accept your mistake,
Yeah.
and you will have to apologize for things that you basically committed to them and couldn't deliver, and make sure that you refund their money so that the relation continues to remain healthy.
Agreed.
That's what.
Agreed. Now, Plan My Firm for me as a marketing manager is a very unique concept. When I first sat down with you, it reminds me of something that can be a big part in the next couple of years, because I feel that it has immense potential of helping entrepreneurs on any scale. The question from my side is, how did this concept come to life, Plan My Firm?
As I told you in my previous question, that when I was helping clients in forming companies for Legal House, I basically I figured out that entrepreneurs had much more nuances to the business world, and that's when I said that fine, we will need to build a better ecosystem in order to help them in the back end support. And that's when I said that Plan My Firm will be an organization that will handle all the functions of the business. That wastes a lot of time of the entrepreneurs, and bringing all those functions of the business at a very economical price. And that's when we said Plan My Firm will be a support to all the businesses that will form in UAE, and how we will help them to move.
In hindsight, it is a very simple idea.
It's a very simple idea. What does a businessman need? An entrepreneur, what does he need? He needs a license. He needs banks. He needs a place to work. He needs some residence. He needs tax support.
We got it all. We have everything.
He needs marketing support. And he needs some technology support.
Agreed.
If all these things are basically taken care by one entity, and that too as a very competitive price, then what he needs to do? He just needs to promote his business by meeting new clients and selling his products and services to those, by offering to those clients. That's the only role. The entire back-end system is managed by Plan My Firm. Now he has a portal for to manage all these things. How do you do it?
It's pure and
what
simple.
more you need?
It's
as an entrepreneur. If this was with me a decade or old back, maybe I would have multiplied my wealth maybe 10 times of what I am right now.
Agreed.
And not only wealth, but in terms of knowledge or ideas, or I would have been a co-founder in many companies by now, because a lot of time was spent in terms of building the team. A lot of time was spent in nurturing the team, taking in resources and handling and learning the tax system, learning so many other tech systems, which I did not want to waste. I was not interested to learn.
And Plan My Firm actually automates the whole process itself. So the manuality of the very business, it's gone.
100%.
So you're just coming to work, you're just finding how to generate revenue.
And also, the most important is the place of work.
Agreed, yes.
You are with entrepreneurs. Today you are looking for a networking event. Boss, the networking event is every day with you.
It's at your doorstep, literally.
Every day you're you're meeting almost 30, 40 entrepreneurs in our co-working places. Now you can collaborate with them as vendors, as customers, as colleagues, and you could basically keep selling more.
Agreed. Now you've built multiple companies, and coming up with personal, how do you manage the work-life balance? It must be a bit harsh, do you think?
Again, it will be very, maybe you laugh at it, but the fact I'll tell you is that, of course, I have more than about 300 clients, and most of my clients only are my friends. And either they are my friends or they are my vendors. I don't have any friends in my personal life beyond my business. It becomes difficult because one is that you share a very close relationship with them. So they trust you, they buy services from you, and you buy services from them because you share the same rapport with them. And that's how they become your very close colleagues. And so I don't have to go beyond my network to basically find friends and to find happiness, because I find happiness in meeting my clients only.
There's a word around the office that Peter lives and breathes corporate. That's his life and death. He will, and when I first met you, that caught me right there. I remember you saying, Azan, there's nothing beyond for me than Plan My Firm. You realize.
For me, it's all about legal house. It's about Plan My Firm, and it's all about this. I breathe every day. I make sure that my clients who, of course, my partnerships are very strategic in terms of relationship. If you have trusted me, then every problem of yours been my problem.
Give and take.
Yes. And that's it. And I respect that relationship.
And you're very on board with everything. I call you 1:30 a.m. in the night and you pick up, boss, I have a great idea. Azan is like, okay, boss is like, Azan, do it. Just take action. So this mentality, how did you bring it up? The ability to take action right then and there.
Yeah, because most of the confidence has come because of my long entrepreneurship journey, where I have basically figured out a lot of nuances in the entrepreneurship journey, where basically I figured out that this is the right decision. And my instincts are also very strong in understanding, boss, whether this is right, wrong, or what you feel. I get those instincts.
Right.
And when I get those instincts, I understand that fine, if this is a great idea and it's coming at this cost, let's go for it. Decision making is a very key aspect in business development, in any business building. It's one of the most important because you have to be very fast in making decisions. If you
Mhm.
sit on a problem and keep hatching it, it will burn you off.
Agreed, agreed. So you've had more than 300 clients, and now we're growing, mashallah, as well. What would be your most unique client success story? I've heard of many, but I want you to share the most unique.
Of course, I have a unique story where one client, of course, now I can call him a client, but before he was just a car broker, and or he used to come with different clients to set up companies in our offices. And when I met him, I asked him that, "What do you do?" And he says that, "Sir, I actually I sell used cars." And I said, "Okay, what do you do?" He says, "I sell them, and I keep some cars in Jadaf, and on Dubizzle I sell it, of course, on privately." And then I said, "Why don't you, for you build the proper business, why don't you take a proper license and regulate this business in a formal way?" And he says, "No, no, sir, I don't have this 25, 30,000 bucks." I said, "How much do you have?" He said, "I just have 5,000." I said, "Do you have the courage to repay if I support you?" And he says, "Of course, sir." I said, "Okay, I will set up the license for you. Give me this 5,000. I will pay the balance 20,000. How much months? Can you pay me every month for in 4 installments? 5. Believe me, Azan, in 2 months, he got the 20,000 back. And today is one of the largest car auction company, which has more than about 300 fleets right now with him.
Wow.
And this entire journey actually just started when I just handled his idea.
Mm.
And today he's of course he has very high gratitude towards me, and he's
Mm.
become a very good friend of mine.
For you, it has always been, even internally in the companies, to just take a leap of faith and just do it. You keep on thinking and you keep on dragging stuff. So, what I've learned from you in the past couple of months is to just take the action and do your best, and the results will come by themselves.
Again, my question is, losing time is the biggest risk that you take.
Agreed.
And especially in a speed market like Dubai, and something that is fast moving. Losing your time is a loss of opportunity.
Agreed.
If you have an idea and if you think that this idea is going to work, let's build it into a business module and figure out what initial capital you can put in. Once we know that you can put this capital, then we figure out from where we get the excess capital, more capital that's required. And let's build that business around that idea of what we can offer. Then whether this business can be offered maybe physically, it can be offered digitally, then let's figure out the whole journey. What licenses are required? How do we attract investors towards this idea? All this is a business journey.
Agreed.
But the initial step is to take that first leap of faith on your idea.
Yes.
And I always tell the entrepreneurs that, boss, you need to dream big. Dream. You need to dream and dream big. And once you dream, dedicate your life to build that dream.
Agreed.
Because somewhere in your journey, there are other people also believing your dream.
Agreed.
And that's how they have chosen you to be their boss.
So, Peter, what would be your biggest inspiration?
See, Azan, of course, I entered the field of entrepreneurship, or I always wanted to build a business. When I moved from Goa to Mumbai, actually in 2023, 2003, and that's when that time my biggest inspiration was a gentleman called Dhirubhai Ambani, who is actually the late father of Mr. Mukesh Ambani. Of course, he has the stories from rags to riches, where basically an average middle class or lower middle class individual, basically, who has built in a conglomerate across Asia and have built multiple businesses in every industry. Could it be the telecom? Could it be the petrochemical? Could it be the textile? How he built this from a dream to reality. And today, his entire generation basically is enjoying these benefits. It's not because he had all the resources. No, he had the idea. He did not bother about his current situation. What he believed was what he wants to do. 10 years ahead, 20 years ahead. So when you build a business, it's like giving birth to a kid.
Agreed. Yeah.
And so you have to plan a 3 years, a 5 years, and a 10 years vision. Without having a vision, you don't know where to go. And only once you figure out this vision of where you are and where you want to go, how much money you can deploy in this vision, that's when you will able to calculate the pathway.
Agreed.
And that's where my complete inspiration was, from Dhirubhai Ambani, and I was really living that.
Mhm.
And that's where I read all books around him that
Mhm.
actually inspired me, and yet he will remain a great inspiration in my life, because the way he built
Mhm.
India, as India's story,
Mhm.
is a great inspiration for every budding entrepreneur in that region
Yeah.
or across the globe.
Seamlessly, who hasn't heard about him? I mean, and Dubai has been home to many of such entrepreneurs, such as Rizwan Sajjan,
Of course.
and he's very big right now. For me,
I mean,
Peter,
you can see Rizwan Sajjan on most of his channels, or
yeah,
maybe on his Instagram handles. He tells about his story
yes,
and how he basically for life started his life in Mumbai, and today, he's one of the billionaire,
yes,
and you could see what he's delivering in Dubai on a daily basis,
hmm,
and people have trusted his brand, people have trusted his idea, people have trusted his products,
agreed,
and he, because not because who he is, it's because he was able to fulfill every promise that he gave.
agreed. But people actually, the way you say to me is that people want a vision, an idea. That only selling alone won't cut it as on. You have to be larger than life when you're talking to an individual. So apart from that, being a CEO alone is not a job. It's about leadership. How do you define leadership in your own terms, the way you do it to us?
See, leadership is more about clarity, first of all.
Right.
Again, when we close our eyes, if everyone in the organization is able to point in one direction, it means that's leadership. You are able to lead the vision of the company.
Right.
So you know what's your idea. People have appointed you because you are the best among all of them.
Hmm.
And that's when the leadership qualities actually come into play. You will have to lead with examples. And you will handhold every employee that basically struggles in the process. You cannot say that, boss, do it, it'll happen. No. How to do it also sometimes you need to teach them. And that's where the journey happens. You will have to handhold them till you actually leave their hands independently. And that's where the leadership was different. I always believed in this leadership of handholding, nurturing my teammates, and then leaving them independent only once I know that they can walk alone.
Just firing them wasn't never the
No,
solution.
no,
You've
that's
always said,
never.
Mizan, give them guidance,
Yeah.
lead them towards a path, but don't just leave them off.
Yeah.
Don't
But
be
one more
blind.
thing, most important, entrepreneurs have to keep training their minds.
Agreed.
Because the ecosystem around the world is so dynamic that it's changing every minute, every hour, and every day. So you will need to keep educating yourself. You will need to understand the current ecosystems that are changing. You need to understand the laws that are evolving. And you will have to, that's how only you could basically lead as a leader in all that pack.
Specifically in Dubai, if you don't evolve, in very simple words, the competition will eat you. You
No,
have to be one step ahead.
you will
Always.
be irrelevant.
Yes, agreed.
You will be irrelevant going forward in the way AI is taking over, Chat GPT is taking over. You will get irrelevant if you're not embracing technology. I mean, digital technology or digital ecosystem is the game.
Agreed.
Today we
Yes.
sitting on Instagram podcasters because digital ecosystem is the game,
Perfect. Yes.
and that's where personal branding do matters.
Agreed. And we've seen you pop up on Instagram feeds personally. So yep. So that sums up all the conversation. Wonderful time talking to you.
Yeah,
I really want
it
to do
was
it
nice.
again, but inshallah, maybe in the future we'll
We
have
will
you.
come with some part. We'll come with some of our clients on our podcast and showcase them their entrepreneurship journey, how it was very unique. Of course, mine was a unique one. I mean, as a small story, I would like to tell you. In fact, I was destined to be in UAE. One day I walked towards the church. I mean, and the priest just asked me, "Hey, Peter, you don't come to church?" And I said that, "No, Father, I'm so busy in audits and some other stuff of my work that doesn't allow me to come to church." And he says, "Okay, I know, but you did something in law and finance. So give me your CV. I just want to send." And he sent my CV to a company in Abu Dhabi. It's called Aliyah Group, which is the distributor of Coca-Cola all over UAE and Oman. And the next day I get a call and they offer me a salary of 5,000. And I say, fine, and they liked my CV. I took up the offer and they said, send me your passport. And I said, I don't have one. And they said, what? You don't have a passport? Why did you apply for a job? I said, I didn't apply. The priest applied.
Yes.
And that's when I joined that company. And then I went to the priest. Priest said, Peter, you don't have a passport. I said, no, Father. He said, okay, go to France. You said, oh my God. He said, go to Francis and he will help you. Tell him that Father Lawrence will send you. I went there. On the 5th day, I got my passport. On the 6th day, I sent it. On the 8th day, I got my visa. On the 10th day, I was in Abu Dhabi
And working.
and working for a firm, and I have not even resigned from my existing company. And my existing company is saying, we need some reports. I said, sir, I'm in Abu Dhabi. They said, what?
Vanished.
Oh my God. And I'm resigning to them, on
Yeah.
my email. I'm saying, sorry, sir,
Yeah.
I got a job in Coke and all this stuff, and, got a
Yeah.
job in an Alalia group, and I can't leave this
In
offer.
hindsight, we can say I never thought that you had an interesting background, but when I talk to you, these things pop up. It blows my mind away. Seriously.
Yeah.
So, well, that sums up.
Thank you,
And maybe, inshallah, soon we'll be sitting down again.
Soon, yeah.
All right? You have a
Okay.
grand day, Peter.